Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Wednesday, right? It's kind of tough to tell anymore, but I think it's Wednesday by the time you're probably seeing this. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. We only have one chapter left, and by my count, 2 full weeks and 2 partial weeks. So we've got a little bit of time to play with, and I really don't want to push it too much with this. I don't want to jump right into the next stuff because then we have nothing else to do, and why just do it anyway. We'll take our time. We've got time to spare. So we're going to do a little heredity lab this week with monsters, because who doesn't want to talk about monsters? Let's look at some Sesame Street monsters here. Could be anything you want to look at, anything you want to think of like them, and we're going to try to figure out what they look like this week. So I'm going to give you a 2-part lab this week, a little home paper lab. You're going to need a coin. That's really the only materials you're going to need this week to flip a coin to see what our monsters will look like. So this is part of your lab. You'll see this when you actually get the paper. And it says for all these different traits, I gave you a little chart of a little table. They're going to flip the coin to see what allele combinations your parent monsters have. So are they big R, little r, little r, little r, big R, whatever combination of alleles. As it says here, a flip of the coin that leads to a heads is going to be a dominant allele, where a tails will be a recessive allele. So for each of the traits I give you in the chart, once you look at your lab, you're just going to flip a coin to see, okay, what 2 alleles does the mom have and what 2 alleles does the dad have. So you'll flip the coin to do that, and then you'll fill in your little chart in that way. So on the first example here, it says the face shape for this is the female parent monster. It's going to be the exact same one. It just says male parent monster. You do each of them. For the face shape, you can either have a triangle-shaped face. That's the big T, so that's the dominant allele. Or you can have a round-shaped face. That's the little t, that's the recessive allele. So you'd flip your coin. Let's say it comes up tails. That's going to be the recessive allele. It says right here, tails recessive. So you'd have one little t. I'm just going to write that there for now. And let's say you flip it a second time, and it's also tails. So you'd have now 2 little t's. So now that you know you don't have any big t's, you can fill that in right here at genotype. You have 2 little t's. Okay. For the next one, let me erase my ink. You do the exact same thing, just all down the chart for all the other categories. It says eyes. So, does your monster have 2 small eyes? That's the big letter E. That would be the dominant allele. Or does your monster have 1 large eye? That's the little e, and that's the recessive allele. You'd flip your coin again. Let's say this time you get another tails. So you'd have 1 little e. And then you don't know what the next one's going to be. You flip it again, and now you get the coin come up heads. So that's going to be the dominant bigger allele. So you would then write big E, little e. If it had come up tails twice, you would write little e. If it came up heads twice, you would have written big E, because you had 1 tails and 1 head, or the other way around, you write either one, big E, little e. That's your combination of genotype for eye type. For eye color, once again, let me erase my ink. For eye color, it can either be the big R allele for red eyes, that's the dominant version, or you could get the little r allele for white eyes, that's the recessive version. So, again, let's say you flip your coin and it comes up heads, that would be the dominant version. So you've got 1 big R in your genotype. You flip it again, it comes up heads once more. Now you've got a second big R allele. You'd have a big R genotype for this parent in terms of eye color. I think I gave you 9 different things, 9 different categories of traits. Just go down, do that. You're going to flip the coin twice for each trait to find out what each parent looks like. Then you'll have the same exact thing here. It says table A for female parent. You'll have the exact same thing right under it. It says table B, male parent monster. Do the exact same thing. So you're sitting there flipping your coin. You'll do it, probably about 20, 30 times, whatever it is, works out to. The last thing is this little phenotype column right here. So what's your monster actually look like? For that, you're just going to look at the genotype and say, okay, well, what does this actually mean? If your genotype right here for face shape is little t, that's 2 of the recessive alleles right here. So if your only option is that the parent has 2 recessive alleles, then they will show that recessive trait, which means in this case, the phenotype, the physical meaning of everything, is that they're going to have a round-shaped face. If I erase my ink there, the next one down for the eyes, do you have 2 small eyes as the dominant, or do you have 1 large eye as a recessive trait? Well, if the parent monster right here has 1 big and 1 small, as long as they've got 1 of these dominant alleles, they will show this dominant trait over here. Right there, it says dominant, reminds you what everything is. 2 small eyes, that's going to be the big E, so they will have 2 eyes. I'm going to fill that in for myself right there, so I know what this monster is going to look like. And the last one, big R, for the genotype. Just erase part of my E, that's fine. Fill that in. If the genotype is big R, now they have 2 copies of the dominant allele for red eyes. So that's the only thing they could be. So again, right there, red eyes. So they have 2 small eyes, and the color of those 2 small eyes are red on a round-shaped face. And then there'll be 7 other or 6 other, I think, categories just to show you what your monster looks like. You do that for the female parent, you do that for the male parent, and then I think I gave you, 1 or 2 questions after, just kind of sum everything up. But that's what we're going to do today, and we'll pick up with the next part of the lab on what they will do Friday when I post that part up. All right, so I didn't put it here on the slide, but I'm going to tell you right here, go fill in the form. I'm going to give you a form, not that we really did anything, but just so I know you're actually doing seeing this. Go fill in the form right now. And then, again, this will be going up on Tuesday afternoon it is right now, but you'll see it probably on Wednesday. Extra help on Thursday at noon. Extra help also next Tuesday at noon. Those are the days for extra helps now, Thursday and Tuesday. Some of you were asking me earlier today and yesterday on Teams still. Email me with any problems. I've had a couple of emails from kids in the last few days with issues. Happy to set up any kind of little chat conference at any time if you have any questions, or if I can answer over email and better, whichever works. Part 2 again of this lab will be put up on Friday. That'll be the next little extension where we see what the monster baby is actually going to look like, and then I'll have office hours on Monday, next Monday at 10 a.m. back to the regular schedule. So go fill in the form now, get to the rest of this, and take care. I'll see you in a couple of days.